Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. I am at the Bolsa Chica wetlands. It's a little windy out here. Got to hold the mic in my hand so it won't, pick up the wind. But tons to cover today for you, and some good news, some bad news, but just all interesting. Before I get into it, please take a second. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Now, we just got the retail numbers for January, and we are supposed to jump up and down, guys, because everybody anticipated that we were going to have an increase from December, which is insane because December should be the best shopping month of the year. We should have a great number of 1.9%, and the number just completely blew that out of the park. It was 3% increase. And you saw increases in retail, you saw increases in restaurant, increases in service work, auto repairs, everything. Everything went up, guys. It was just a stellar number for everybody. The number was even so good that it outpaced inflation. So businesses supposedly made money last month. Now, I just saw a great interview with Robert Irvine. Who's Robert Irvine? Robert Irvine is the man that does Restaurant Impossible on the Food Network. And Robert was talking about the problem with the restaurant industry. Yes, restaurants are making more money right now because they're charging people more money right now. And we're seeing big changes in the restaurant business. Now, just to back up a little bit, Robert started, as a world-class chef, and he had a show on the Food Network called Dinner Impossible, where they would basically give him a challenge and say, hey, you've got to cook for 300 people on a train. You've got 6 items. Here's what you're going to make, and you've got to cook for these people. Things like that. Hey, here's a tent. Here's 4 stoves. You've got to cook for 300 people that are faculty for a college. Different things like that. It was a great show. But his expertise, where it really took off, was with Restaurant Impossible, where he would walk into a struggling restaurant that was in debt, that was not selling things, that had issues. And he would then step it up and he would revamp the menu. He would then look at the neighborhood. He would look at what they're doing wrong from a marketing standpoint, because the guy's seen hundreds of restaurants and fixed all these different restaurants. Then he would have a designer come in. The designer would look at the place and say, let's do this, let's do that. They would only have $10,000. And then they had a contractor who was a brilliant lead and had all his crew behind him that could do drywall and everything and do all this in a 24-hour period. Basically, the whole revamp was 48 hours, and then they would reopen the restaurant. Crazy. So Robert steps forward and says, hey, listen, the problem with restaurants right now is that inflation for the consumer is so bad that people are actually going out right now and instead of cooking at home, buying chicken, buying, potatoes, rice, vegetables, and cooking it themselves, and going out to restaurants and spending the money at restaurants. The key to this is that it's actually cheaper, he's saying, to go out and eat at these mid-level restaurants right now than go out and cook the food yourself. So huge change right now. And that's the thing that, people need to look at. When you look at a high-end restaurant where you got a steak that's $75, that's not going to work. But the low-end restaurants, mid-level restaurants, it's totally working. Are you guys seeing this? So, do you find it cheaper to go out and eat right now than you do cook your own food? In some instances, I do as well. And, it's funny. A friend of mine, he and I have a birthday right around each other. And we were talking about, hey, let's go do this for, a meal. I'll take you out for your birthday. We'll go have a birthday dinner together next week. He's like, let's just go buy food and cook. And I'm like, I don't want the headache right now of doing that. So what do you guys experience with this? Now, the other thing with Robert is that because everything has gone up in a restaurant, the main food items, the side food items, rice, vegetables, starches, potatoes, mushrooms, everything have gone up in price, that people are losing lower quality items to fill their menu. And people are noticing this. So what are you doing to make these cheaper products better? How do you do that? It's funny. When you go to a restaurant, like a pizza place that's been open 30 years, you can tell if you eat there a lot when they change their menu. That's what people are seeing time and again. So What are you guys seeing? Are you seeing this right now? How do you make cheaper products better? Do you give them more? Do you, make it more creative? That's what Robert's asking right now. And it's absolutely fascinating because I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you do it without people noticing with this. So that's the challenge with eating out right now. Is it a better deal? Is it not a better deal? I think it's more expensive all the way around to go out and eat. I just like the ease of going out to eating at a restaurant over cooking sometimes, which I'm sure most people do. But share your thoughts on that stuff. So we are seeing huge changes when it comes to these restaurants going out of business. We're seeing, the story from yesterday where all these, restaurants and stores and retail establishments in New York were desperate to borrow money just to get themselves a lifeline right now. That's the other problem, is that people think that, God, if I only had money, if I could only pay these people, it'll be better. No, you need to have sales. That's the thing that's going to solve everything, is the getting rid of you know your bills. Sell more product. That'll get rid of that. Couple things. It's funny. I ran into two subscribers out here, before I started filming. Steve and Greg, both great guys. Steve, fascinating because Steve, hey, you keep walking by my house in front of it in Corona Del Mar that we were trying to sell, and he finally sold the house in Corona Del Mar, which is great because the problem with it is, in this market, Steve's not stupid. Steve knows that the writing on the wall for the real estate market is going to go down. And if you don't think that, you're crazy. And the other guy, Greg, was a real estate appraiser who's out here filming wildlife right now. So he's filming birds and all this stuff. And, cool, he takes his break. But he's like, Dan, all the commercial property is about to explode. You're going to see more and more of the foreclosures. And I told him about the stuff that Michael Lembeck sent me yesterday, where you saw the different high rises go out of business. And he totally agreed with me. Now, my friend, okay, that does the foreclosures out of Las Vegas, he and I had dinner last night. We're talking about the entire industry and how it's changing. And he said, Dan, I absolutely agree with you. The problem with it right now is you're going to see, sorry, I keep turning the camera for the wind. You're going to see the calm before the storm. Think about this. The banks are asking him, Doug, are you ready for what's coming? Is your team ready? You guys ready right now? They're not asking that because they think that things are going to, maybe it'll pick up a little bit. This is, before the season, guys. These guys know, the banks do, that all hell is about to break loose. And the appraiser right here, he said, totally agrees. People are not paying their bills. They're starting to see foreclosures. They're starting to see properties that are being put on the market. He told me a quick story about an apartment complex. I won't say the city even, but how these people that were living there, basically 96 unit apartment complex, nobody was paying the rent in the entire unit. They had to sell the unit. People that got evicted that said, hey, listen, the moratoriums are going to end, they decided to set fire to the unit. 7 of the 96 units were burnt, where the people set it on fire. And a lot of the units, people had poured cement down the drain to stick it to the landlord. Now, again, these people did not pay their rent for years. And they finally were told, you have to leave. And somehow they're bad people. So crazy, guys. So much more to cover. Share your thoughts on this. And let me know what you guys think about this so far. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. With all the problems that we're having in the economy, it is time for you to take a look at an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals from the Patriot Gold Group. Call them today, 888-330-1431, and get a free investor guide. It's absolutely no obligation. You can call them. You can use the link below to get all this information. But do what the smart money's doing, guys. Do what billionaires are doing. Do what central banks are doing. Think about this. The state of Mississippi wants to declare gold and silver bullion as currency. You need to get in this right now before it's too late. Call the great people at Patriot Gold and ask them questions about an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals. You can do this before it's too late and do it now. Now, think about this. Billionaires, central banks, everybody's getting themselves into gold right now, and do this right now because think about this. All the experts are saying the same thing. We are heading in towards a recession, and you need to protect yourself, and you need to do what the smart money's doing, and they're buying gold right now. So call Patriot Gold today. Best in class service, #1 rated for 6 years in a row. 888-330-1431. Let them know that I allegedly sent you guys. Do you guys listen to these business warnings? Do you really pay attention to them? Seriously. I want to know. I mean, because what I do is I look at things and then I compare it to the other news that we get and see what looks real. Because I think we're being told one thing, but then we're getting warnings on, the other side. JP Morgan just warned everybody to get themselves, out of the stock market, have your investments protected, do things that are a little different right now so that your money is secure right now. Okay, well that should be interesting enough for you to take a look at. How about Michael Santomassimo? He's the CFO at Wells Fargo, who said 2023 is going to be a horrible year for banking, for business, and for small business, and people need to get themselves ready for that. Well, again, look at that, okay? And the next one is our favorite, the one and only Walmart that we love so much. Walmart's Chief IT Officer, Suresh Kumar, he steps forward and he says, we want people to come in the office at least 2 days a week, but we also want you guys to work locally. Huh? Well, what do you mean by work locally? I work by the Carlsbad location. No, we're going to close that. What about people in Austin that work by that location? No, we're going to close that too. Okay, what about Phoenix? Yeah, that's going to get closed too. You guys need to come in the office at least 2 days a week to Bentonville, Arkansas. Now, guys, I have been to Bentonville, Arkansas twice. One of the most wild experiences of my life that I could do an entire video on going to Arkansas in the first place. That's the first thing. Second thing is that I'm telling you, you guys fly into Fayetteville and then you drive a 2-lane road to Bentonville, Arkansas, to the main Sam's Club and Walmart offices that are in the middle of nowhere. Now, Bentonville is growing, during this time over the last 10 years, however long it's been since I've been there, but changing. Imagine, hey, you want to keep your job? Stay there. Now, here's the thing. Carlsbad location, they had Carlsbad Labs too. Think about this. Carlsbad. Walmart was going to have a lab and have themselves a foothold in the medical space, which is the industry I was just in. I have a medical association that I run, and we would have mixers, and I would do them in Carlsbad because it was just North County was a great area, and there's a ton of biotech in San Diego, and I could talk about that for hours. But on my birthday in 2020, before all hell broke loose, I had my last mixer, and I had it in Carlsbad. Down the street, same freeway off-ramp as Carlsbad Labs. And I've told this story before, and that people were at Carlsbad Labs and they're like, hey, Dan Golka's got his event tonight. We should blow this off and go there. And I had dozens and dozens of people. I think it was like 38 people show up from the Walmart event and show up at my event. And the people at Walmart Labs reached out and said, hey, we should do something together in the future. And then all hell broke loose and nothing happened. So again, people that work there, people that work for those labs, people that work in Austin, people that work in Phoenix, if you want to keep your job, you need to relocate. This is the sign of the times, guys. This is what's going to happen. You're going to see this now more than ever, where the layoffs are going to hit big. Think about this. I just spoke with Greg, that real estate appraiser, and we were talking about the difference between now and 2008. And the difference between now and 2008, guys, is you're going to have all these layoffs. You're going to have people that are going to own a house, and because people are so strapped and so broke that they need both incomes, and now you're going to have a guy 55 years old who can't get a job. What are you going to do? Seriously. It's going to be a barista. Well, there's 14 of you lines, people in front of you on that line. So they're not going to be able to pay their bills. They're not going to make their mortgage payments. That's what's going to happen. That's one thing you have to look forward to right now with this economic downturn, is severe problems like that. So share your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this, because I think this is just the beginning of a major calamity that's about to hit all of us. And this side of the wetlands is really good. You can see this one bird, white bird right there, waiting for, about to go down and grab a fish. It's kind of cool. There he goes. Well, it's official. The two people that got Sam Bankman Fried out of jail and guaranteed his bond, guess what? What a shock. They work at Stanford with their parents. Huh. Their names are Larry Kramer and Andres Popke. And they both are executives and teach at Stanford, and they've got tons of money, and they wanted to help the family out, and they didn't anticipate that the whole world, like you and I, would be talking about this. So, interesting. So, they were just good people. We wanted to help them. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Share your thoughts on that, guys, if you think that. It'll be interesting to see if all those politicians give the money back as well, too. So, let me know what you think about that. Audio, 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 audio. Derek Thompson wrote an article about real estate and saying that, hey, we have it all wrong. You don't understand. Things are going to be just fine. Uh, Prices are going to continue to go up. People are going to continue to buy houses. I want you to think about this. There are thousands of realtors every month that are quitting the business because they are making no money. They cannot afford the expenses. They cannot afford their dues. They cannot afford their office space, their desk space with the brokers. That's what's happening. No, guys, it's going the wrong direction for real estate. Next one is our main man, Elon Musk. He just announced the new CEO of Twitter. And he says it's better than the last guy. And it's the dog, his dog, which is a Shiba Inu. Now, people have written me and said, oh, Shiba Inu, the coin, is going to take off. Do you guys own Shiba Inu, the cryptocurrency? Do you think this is the beginning of the hype for Shiba Inu? It is incredibly cheap right now. It is like 0.4013, something like that. I mean, if you had $20, you could buy hundreds of thousands of tokens with this. And share your thoughts on this. Do you think this is going to go to a completely different level? Let me know. I'm really curious as to think that. But it was really interesting because the last time this guy hyped Shiba Inu, it shot up. And, he's just talking about his dog, which is a Shiba Inu. So I don't know if this is a crypto hint or what it is. But let me know, let the whole world know what you guys think about this. And if you think that Shiba Inu is going to shoot up. Again, what cryptocurrencies do you guys own? What do you think are valuable? Now, one thing I talked about in our promo is the state of Mississippi wants to legalize gold and silver bullion as currency. They want to make them something that you can use to pay for things. They want to get rid of charging sales tax for it, and they want to make it so that you can use this to purchase items. Like I believe it's Washington is the other state that's got it set up right now. So great article about this. But once again, guys, this goes to show you that gold and silver will be around in the future, and that people are looking at this as an item to purchase things because it's real money, guys. So the state of Mississippi's not so backwards, guys. They got it going on. If anybody wants to expand on this, you've heard anything else about the state of Mississippi, we talk a lot about precious metals here and gold. I think that physical silver is the absolute best thing you can buy. I really do, because if you just knew how it's used in the medical space, you'd buy it for that reason. If you can get your hands on it. Junk silver, that's silver coins that are 1964 and earlier. They've got 90% silver in them. And then there's silver coins that, you've got eagles and things like that too that you can get. We could talk about that for hours, but let me know what you think about the Mississippi story as well. Audio, 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 audio. Do you think that a state can tax its citizenry out of the state? You think that they could raise taxes so much and not provide services so high that people would leave? I do. 500,000 people left California last year. It's going in the wrong direction. More and more people are seeing the problems with this state that they're leaving, now more than ever. I showed that homeless encampment yesterday in Newport Beach, freaked everybody out. But how about this? People in the UK are sending me stories about Chicago O'Hare Airport, where they've got more homeless people living at the Chicago O'Hare Airport, and it's just an absolute mess. So that's happening. It's getting worse, guys. It's getting worse before it gets better. So there's that. You know, the other thing is the gas bills. A friend of mine lives in a studio apartment at the beach, okay? Likes to live at the beach. He gets less space, less square footage for the money that he can afford. He's got a one-room box. It's nice. It's blocked from the water. I've been there a bunch of times. Very nice. The problem is think about this, his gas bill went from $30 a month to $150 last month. $150 here in California. That is insane, guys. And he was just like, wow, I can't believe this. How am I going to afford this? How do people afford this? You have a house and it goes up, 5 times like that. That's terrible, guys. What do people do? Spoke to people that own restaurants again, same thing. Their gas bill went from $1,700 2 months ago to $7,000. So what are people supposed to do right now to get by on this? I don't know. Just don't know. So it's really a beautiful spot out here, guys. How wrong is this? Okay. Very good friend of mine is Chris from the Financial Prepper channel out of Louisiana. I love this guy for 1,000 reasons. Brilliant businessman, salt of the earth, and him and his wife Stacy are just two of the best people on the planet Earth. But he got me into intermittent fasting. Lost some weight, got myself in shape, started running again, really, really helped with the diet. There's an article below that says, hey people, do you want to save money if you're broke? Just skip breakfast. Think about this. Telling people to skip meals because they can't afford to eat. Yeah, that's a really logical thing. I'm doing it to try to get my fat ass in shape, and they're telling this for people that are poor and broke, and you should just skip a meal because it's not really that important. Remember, I thought that breakfast was the most important meal of the day. Remember that shenanigans we were fed and the food pyramid and all that stuff? Well, it's not, okay? So lie after lie after lie, but I'm doing it for fitness. I'm doing it to work out, to run in the morning, and all the yoga and all the cool stuff I'm doing. But you should do it because you're broke and skip a meal. Read that article. This is our politicians, our leaders are telling you, hey, starve, okay? Do that, okay? Cadbury eggs, final story. Every year Easter rolls around and the Cadbury eggs came out, and the little chocolate covered eggs, okay, out of the UK, guess what, guys? They're getting smaller and smaller, which led me to Girl Scout cookies. My daughter was a Girl Scout, and February was hell. First of the year, guys, we would have to sell cookies. We'd have to do financial commitments. My daughter was the president of her troop. My daughter won the Juliet Lowe Award for Girl Scouts. My daughter was here in Girl Scouts, president of her troop, did everything, okay? And went as far as you could possibly go with that. But it was hell selling those cookies, guys. And by the way, a box of Girl Scout cookies now, look at this, guys, $6 a box, okay? They've gone up. I remember when they were $3, okay? But the cookies are smaller, guys. Look at this. These are the little peanut butter cookies. They're thimble size now. You can eat a whole roll and not have any guilt on that. So share your thoughts on that. But again, guys, skip meals because you're poor, okay? You'll feel better, okay? Please do not forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hope you enjoyed the wetlands. It's just an absolutely beautiful place. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Share your thoughts with me, guys. Hello at iAllegedly.com as well.